that, I'm going to lead us through a few minutes of getting present. I say minutes. As soon as I start receiving information, I start relaying it to you. And anything that I share with you, I recognize, Debora, that you are the ultimate authority in your own life. You're the one who gets to say, not today, or yeah, that sounds great. So whatever you feel about it, you can tell me if you wish, or you can say that's not for me. Or if I start sharing with you, here's what I see as a possibility, you can say, nah, I don't care about that. And I won't talk anymore about it unless I'm really getting the sense of like, no, you really need to know. And also I can't see something that you truly deeply don't want to know. So for example, earlier this week, there was a woman I was talking to, his mother has a terminal illness. And I asked her, did she want me to look into that? And she said no. And I was like, that's fine, because I can't, typically if someone tells me they want to know, I instantly get how much time they have left. But no numbers were coming to me. So I thought, oh, she doesn't really want to know. And when I asked her, she confirmed. It to me doesn't even feel like a conscious thing of sometimes people decide they want to know something, sometimes they don't. You can ask whatever you want in our time together, and I'll get as specific as I'm able with the information that I have. And sometimes you can feel free to share whenever, or reflect or comment. Oftentimes when someone shares something with me that they feel relevant, it's like it opens up even more that I can see. But you don't have to share anything if you don't feel called to. So do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Excited.
Have you gotten a
Looking forward to
reading before from any type of person?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome. I'm closing my eyes, but is there a specific thing that you want me to look into, or do you want to keep it just general, whatever's coming forth for your information?
I think whatever's coming forth for the most part, but I've got some business stuff that I'd like, a little feedback on.
Sure,
Just,
sure.
What's sort of immediately out there.
Yes.
The next 6 months or so.
That sounds great. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start looking in. Okay. So I'm getting a few things that I'll share. These are just the first few impressions, and I'm sure more will come after that. So a little bit of pain in my chest that feels to be almost like when you're holding your breath, either anticipating something happening or something that was a little bit shocking and you're kind of bracing yourself for. There's a little bit of that feels like a constriction in the breathing. So that's something. And sometimes when I feel a feeling, it's the actual physical sensations, and sometimes it's like a metaphorical emotional state that I'm describing. So I don't know yet which one it is, or maybe it's a little bit of both. So that's one thing that I'm getting. And I'm also getting this lovely acknowledgement of the way in which you show up in business is just so delightfully you. And the words that I'm going to use to name it might not sound like a compliment to everyone, but they are a compliment. But I'm getting that you are a sharp and even shrewd business person who is, it's almost like piercing vision, or like decisiveness. I don't know if decisiveness is the best word, but you don't have trouble being like, you do this and you do that, and you like commanding and or not owning the parts of the business that are not yours. Like I know there's a thing in the entrepreneurial world of people taking on more than they have to and trying to do everything. I get the feeling that you know what you're good at, and there's a whole lot of stuff that you can just be like, y'all handle that, because that's not what I'm here to do. I don't know if currently in your business that you're the sharp, shrewd, essentially leader, directing things and impacting and taking that type of action, but that's what comes across to me as the level of power and precision that comes through with what you do in the world.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm,
Mhm.
mm. Okay, so I'm going to take a moment and look into the next 6 months. All right, probably there will be more to come. But the first thing I see, it just tickles me. This is so cute. I'm a gardener, so sometimes I'll get a lot of garden visuals and analogies. So I see that it's like you've planted seeds in the garden, peas or whatever. And what I see though is you patting the ground, knowing that the seeds are in there. And it's almost like, all right, these are my babies. I know they're in there. I'm like patting them and I'm waiting, not in a desperate waiting, but like, okay, I've done this and I know this is coming, and patting it like, you be good little seeds and do what you need to do. I planted you, stay in there cozy and warm and do what you need to do. So that's the first thing that I'm getting for the next few months. I am imagining this is something that you're doing in your business that's planting seeds. It's going to take some time to grow to fruition, but that you feel very positive about these seeds that you're planting, and they're going to be very fruitful. And you've also a little bit got your attention on them, but also trusting that it's going to pan out the way that you want it to. Okay, I'm going to see if I can see more about this. Mm. I don't know if this is you only or some of the people that you work with or the economy itself. It might be a little bit of all of those, but in addition to how you are about your confidence about the seeds that you planted and the growth that's to come, I also get that there's either a little bit you, and maybe if there are other people in your business, definitely them, and the economy of like, there's a feeling of also on down the road. It almost feels like when somebody's waving their arms, freaking out, they're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I don't know. It's not a large part of what's going on, but I do feel that there's occasionally this little freak out person that pops up. It's almost like those dead chickens that are very comical, but and maybe it's not a dead chicken, but to me it also feels comical, this little freak out person chicken that is a little bit, you don't want to take it seriously, because even though it might be freaking out, it doesn't feel like it has much weight for the reality of the situation. So it feels, yeah, that there's a certain percentage or level somewhere with the people in your business of 10% freak out. And but it doesn't feel, and maybe it's not happening right now. It could be that because this little freak out chicken person, it feels like it's a little bit removed. So it might be that in 3 months or 6 months, you go through a week where you or other people are like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. I don't know what's going on. Chicken with the head cut off kind of thing. Oh yeah, maybe that's why it's the chicken analogy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Okay.
As soon as you said that, that made perfect sense.
Oh, good. Yeah, but it doesn't, I can relate to the feeling, and I know I've had moments like that. I'm sure you have as well. It doesn't feel that that's the, I don't feel that that's a mark of like, okay, everybody freak out, change gears, abandon ship, whatever. It doesn't feel that that's a sign that things are happening that the freak out is valid, but it feels like the freak out is going to be a natural reaction and then it'll pass is also my kind of feeling about this. Okay. I don't know if you sell things on Amazon. I'm getting a book vibe. I'm getting a selling things on Amazon, maybe digital products. But if you do, or if you're thinking about that, I do feel that again, it feels kind of around, and let's see if this is 6 months down the road or yeah, a little bit down the road. That feels like it's definitely a part of your foundation of this business. Is that already one of your offerings?
Just
Okay.
about to be, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
just
Good,
about
good,
to be,
good.
it'll be, yeah. It'll be
And it,
sooner than the 6 months, but there could be another by then as well.
excellent. And is Amazon one of the
Yeah.
marketplaces
Yeah,
you're
it's a
looking
book.
at?
It's a book. It's a book.
Okay, great,
Yeah,
great, great,
yeah.
great. Okay. Do you have any practices you do about manifesting or visualizing or any of those things? Okay, because I'm getting this visual of soon, but when you're in your book launch phase, of this visual of the book getting wings and flying and picturing it. Oh gosh, now I'm getting all the tingles. Woo! Okay, yeah. Woo! Sorry, this is when it's like, yes, 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 say this. Yeah, visualizing your book flying all over the world, flying to people. Oh my gosh, no, this is making me really emotional. I don't know what your book is about, but also is giving me feelings of like when the stork shows up and brings the baby to somebody's door and they're so excited and they're just opening the door, welcoming this in. That's the type of feeling that I'm getting for a good portion of the people who find your book. They're just going to be like, finally it's here. This is what I needed. I'm so happy. And this kind of like much like someone would anticipate, a baby coming. So I don't know if this book helps people to have new beginnings or whatever, but there's definitely some. I'm also getting, it's funny, I'm getting stork and doves, like white birds around it too, imagery. So maybe the birds are carrying the book, or maybe the book has wings. There, and even I know, of course, people will leave reviews and all that. And, you might even have to follow up with some of the people who've read it, like, I need my review. We got to get this in front of more people. And there's going to be people who you'll never meet who the book was just something so special for them when they needed it. So yeah, that's really wonderful. Is this a nonfiction book? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask what it's about, or would you rather not say?
How about if I just tell you at the end?
Okay, perfect, perfect. I'm just going to take a moment to collect myself again, because I mean, whew.
Do you see anything else associated with the book?
Yes. Sorry, this is just coming and it's cracking me up, because I feel like it's when people show marching band and it's like like the brass band who's like, come on everybody, book parade. So I don't know if that symbolism means anything for you, but I'm getting feelings of, well, celebration. I love this idea of the parade. Maybe you're going to do a whole little interview tour that's like a parade, or with your marketing, maybe it'll have this feeling of, the brass band and the exuberance and the person with the baton. I don't remember what they're called, the conductor. But I do feel there's a, even though for the birds thing, that felt like this is you visualizing it going out. This parade and marching band feels more like this is some of the feeling of the visuals that you're doing, or maybe not visuals, but the actions that are happening with the book launch are very much like 76 something, something, something parade. I don't know all these songs anymore. When I was in band years ago, I knew some of them, but there's definitely this really fun marching band who is ready to just march into town and have a song about the book, maybe. So, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. One of the things I don't know all the ways in which you work, but I know you're very smart. So, and I'll also tell you, some of the time people will take what I say and then they take it and they're like, okay, marching band book launch. And then they just brainstorm. What are the ways in which I can do this like a marching band? So I don't, if there's nothing yet that's coming to you, it could be fun to play around with and brainstorm. See what else comes up. I definitely have a feeling that the creation of this book is partly or largely a result of your own personal journey or work that you've done. I'm a little bit getting a feeling of, I don't know if it had to do with a relationship with your mother directly or indirectly, but I am getting a sense of this book was able to come forth through you because of the intentional accomplishments you've made and things that you've done to feel good in your heart, to feel loving and accepting of yourself. So whether or not this book is anything about love or relationships with mothers or whatever, your work that you have done over the course of your life to own your power, to love yourself, to acknowledge who you are, to take up space, to be that sharp person doing your work in the world. The work that you've done that kept you going and gave you the confidence and gave you the self-love and all that for that created the environment with which this book could come forth. And so you probably already know this, but I'm just saying it as an acknowledgement that it does feel that there were things that you had to address or resolve, that in doing so, and it's not always like A plus B equals C. It might not be like you resolve this thing and you're like, no, I have a book idea. But nonetheless, it gave you the emotional mental space to bring this forth because of the conscious choices you made to resolve what needed to be resolved and also make sure that you feel good and that you love yourself and that you own your power and that you're okay if other people might think that you're selfish or unabashedly doing what you want to do, because you don't see it as selfish. You see it as, listen, I know what I know what I am, and I know what I'm here to do. And if you don't like it, step aside. The brass band is coming through. So it's a beautiful thing to be around somebody who is comfortable standing in their own power and owning it and being that way, because there's a lot of women especially who aren't they're not willing to do things that might displease others or might bring judgment onto themselves. And I'm not saying that people are displeased or judging you, but you have a courageousness of your character and a way in which you have committed to be living the life that you're living that is definitely trailblazing.
Oh, thank you. That's pretty right on the money.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I feel honored to be around you. I feel like here I am with this powerhouse. All right, I think we still have plenty of time, but my phone went on the screensaver mode, so now I don't see my timer anymore. Okay. I'm gonna see if there's other things that I can look into for you. If if you want me to give you more literal things beyond brass bands and storks and doves, I can try.
Sure. Anything you feel is relevant or important or fun or
Yeah.
it's all great. This is wonderful.
Good. Yeah, sometimes I get very literal information. Do this, set up your profile this way, and put these words in it. Like sometimes it's that nitty gritty, and other times it's like today where it's like, let's consider a marching band. Although it's not totally just general. I am getting more than just a marching band. So, all right, I'll see what else there is. Well, okay, I'll start talking. I may ask a question, but you don't have to answer, but I may ask it as I'm going about describing. So I am sensing that for this next period to go back to the seeds that you're patting in the ground, there's a feeling of readiness for growth. And I don't feel that it's just growth of revenue or impact or awareness of your business. It feels like it's growth. Yes, beyond that. And it's possible, if you're not doing this already, that over the next 6 months, you are going to be doing this, which is, it's a feeling of, okay, well, now that I've got those seeds planted, now that that growth is in the works, what's the next way in which I'm growing in a way that feels I want to say like consistent with your vision of what you're bringing forth, because and I don't know if this means in terms of what growth that you're looking to explore in your business, but it feels that it's multi-layered. As I said, it's not just new products or offerings, and it's not just new revenue. It also does feel like there's new people discovering you or having awareness of the book or the brand, the business, and that there's also this beginning receptive exploration that you're starting to do, which is starting to wonder, well, and then what else? Like it almost feels, if you have, let's say, 2 types of things that you do in your business, there's a part of you that's starting to explore, okay, and then can I bring on, I don't know what the other part of it is. Is it a consulting side? It doesn't exactly feel like that because maybe you already have that. But it's something, it's not digital. What else can I explain? Can I explain what it is? Yeah, maybe it's sponsorships. I'm not quite sure what it is exactly, but there's a part of you that's starting. It's like you've done enough and had enough attention to certain elements of it that whether or not you're doing these next parts yet, you're opening up to explore and start being curious. How do I feel about, let's just say sponsorships? How do I feel about consulting? How do I feel about this other thing that I haven't yet figured out what it is? I don't know if it's ad revenue from, I don't know, like a YouTube channel or a TV show or something of that nature. I guess that's similar to sponsorships. Anyway, it feels like at a certain point in the next 6 months, you're going to start to open your awareness to, okay, and how else can I expand this plate, this menu of options that I have for people to get impact from the work. Oh, right. And maybe also, I don't know if you mentor people currently, but a mentorship could be an option. Okay, let's see what else there is. Hmm. I don't have all the information, but I'll just say when I'm looking at, is there anything that's keeping you or that could be like an obstacle in the next 6 months towards this growth or towards these new opportunities? I keep on returning to this image of something that makes you cry and breaks your heart that you, I don't know that you know how to resolve it yet. I don't know that I know how to resolve it yet. I don't know if it's something about a family member or a good friend or a pet, but it does feel that there's some little bit of, it's not exactly heartache. I just feel like there's something that makes you sad sometimes that you don't know how to resolve, and it doesn't look like it's resolved, and it's not a huge thing in your life, but hmm, I don't know. And I keep on getting this feeling of like lemons and the color yellow or like canary yellow or canaries. I don't know why. Sometimes I get colors with things and I don't know if they make any sense to the other person, but there's something about these tears and similar to that freak out chicken I was talking about before. It's not an overwhelming, all-consuming sadness. If I had to put a number on how much it bothers you, it's actually pretty low, but it does hurt. And the number is less than 15% of the time. It's probably like 5 or 10% of the time when you think of this thing, it bothers you. But there's something, I don't know if one of your pets has
No
a
pets,
diagnosis
no
or something.
pets, no
No
pets.
pets. Okay. Well, anyway, and
I know what you're talking about.
you do. Okay. Good, because I don't know how to say it anymore. Ah, okay. When I'm asking about if there's anything you can do about that, I get this vibe of a cape or a cloak that you're wearing, taking comfort. If there's anybody who, when they hug you or put their arm around you, it feels good. Also, Judi Dench. I don't know which movie she was like this courageous, you know, yeah, look into a movie of hers that you would like. But something about Judi Dench related
I,
to this.
I love everything about her.
Oh, me too. I know she's so great. So yeah, she's your lady for right now. Oh, I'm getting a feeling too of it. It might even just be that some of the comfort is you go down a Judi Dench marathon rabbit hole that leads you to another. Oh, who's this actress? I want to watch all her movies. And that's, sometimes escape is the best comfort as long as like we don't stay there forever. Yeah. hmm And I don't know. Yeah, I like the idea of spending some time with Judi Dench. And maybe also asking her if she has any insight. If you do a meditation or prayer, put it out there. Judi, tell me what to do. Come on, sister. I'm so excited to tell you about Talk to the Trees, written by myself, Rachel Strivelli. Talk to the Trees is a short book about connecting to the wisdom of the trees, actually literally talking to them, metaphorically talking to them, learning what can we gain from them in terms of resilience, how to get through hard times, how to approach the times that we're in. You can buy it at the places linked below. Check it out, share it with a friend, buy it for a friend, and spread the word. So we have a little bit of time left, but we're kind of winding down. Is there anything else that you want me to look at before we have to go?
Do you see around the part that you weren't able to kind of put a name to? Did you see a lot of people involved?
Oh, the new part of your business?
Yeah. Because you're right on all of it.
Okay, good.
Exactly. You're right on all of it to a T.
Okay, good. All right. Well, the first thing I'm getting also, this is funny because sometimes it's these cultural references. So now I'm getting I'm getting electric. I'm seeing kind of like blue bolts of lightning, and then that it's electric. So that boogie, electric slide boogie. So I'm gonna see if I get more from that, but I wonder if it's one of those. It's like somebody gets the spark, the next person, kind of how electricity jumps from one person to the next. I'm not sure if that's what this is talking about.
That's great. That's great if that's the way it is. That's
yeah, I love that too. Yeah. And the other thing I like about that is it feels that it has a momentum of its own already that keeps it going to some degree.
Do you see any financial success with it?
Oh, well, yes. And let me get to that. But the other thing I'm getting is that, and I don't know if this is YouTube or a YouTube ad or a video ad, but I'm getting the sense of video with you where people can connect with you and see your face for whatever this is, because I feel that that's what's going to, there's something about the video that is going to engage with people in a bigger way than if it's just a static thing that they're engaging with that reaches them. So I don't know what way you're going to dispense this, but engaging video, if you can, and with you in the video, is going to help start that electrifying movement. Okay, and let me ask about the financials, and then we'll wrap it up here in a moment. Okay. So I didn't get a specific number, but I got the question, how much do you want, baby? So have a very clear idea for you of how much you want. I also got this feeling of you laughing, you eating foods that you love, being around people that you love. So to me, that's saying, along with whatever financial stuff that's happening, making sure that you're always feeling happy, feeling taken care of, the foods that you love, the people you love, all of that pleasure aspect. I also got this thing of with Judi Dench by your side, how can it not be financially prosperous? So I guess she's she's on your team now in all kinds of ways. So that's really lovely. And let's see, was there anything else about that? Yeah, so I think it looks good. And those are the things to keep in mind about it. So, yeah.
Well, that was great. So now I'll tell you, seeing as we're complete now,
Yes.
what it's all about, and you'll see how right on the money you were.
Yeah.
Because there was every aspect you were exact. So, which I have to say is a bit unusual. So good for you.
Oh,
And for
thank
your
you.
listeners, I think they better just get a reading quickly.
I know. I've been telling some people, I'm like, get it before the prices go up. Oh,
I
well,
love
thank
your
you.
humor.
Oh,
I love your
thanks.
humor. So here's what it is. I'm in the process of writing we're just launching a book tomorrow called Cinderella Monologues, and I'm with a group of other women. And so we're launching that tomorrow. And then the book that I'm writing is an anthology, and it's called Live Life in WOW. And WOW is an acronym for wonder, openness, and wisdom. And the book is called, the subtitle is Nuggets of Wonder, Openness, and Wisdom. So I'm with a group of about, I think there's 14 other authors, and we are writing our stories. And every portion, every chapter has that summary of what is the wonder, the openness, and the wisdom from what the author saw for their story. But what we're doing is inviting the readers to read and to get in touch with the authors and with me to share what they took from it. Maybe it was completely different or added to. And then there's what's called a companion playbook with it. And there'll be some exercises that each author who chooses to participate will put in there to help the reader have further dialogue and communication with the authors in the book. If, the people choose and if the author chooses, right? Because it's, of course, all independent. And then the next step in it, well, there will be more than one book, but the next step is events. And that's what you were having trouble putting your finger on.
Yes.
As
You're right.
It's not just going to be like one event. There will be many, and they will be large.
Wow.
So, and there will be a charitable aspect as well to give back and whatnot. And this came to me in a download, and that's how it's all been birthed. And yeah.
Wow.
So that's what it's all about. So you were right on the money with everything, almost, I would venture to say almost 100%. And there's going to be, I'm sure, more than one of those chicken with the head cut off moments, because it's going to be, very, very I don't want to say overwhelming, but it's going to get chaotic at some points where it's going to feel like, what do we do next? Or how are we going to do all this, So, and you're also very right on the money. I am extremely good at delegating.
Oh yeah. I knew it. That's also why I'm like, oh, I'm glad you came into my life today, because I could use a little bit. I mean, most of us could use that. Especially women.
Well, both, it's both,
Yes.
and but I am good at delegating. People usually like to work with me. We have some pretty good times. I do believe in lots of laughing and having fun with whatever we're doing. So I just want you and your listeners to know that, you're right. I would venture to say as close to 100% as someone can get, without ever meeting another person, and and doing it over Zoom and whatnot. So I really appreciate that, and I thank you very much. And I'm glad I normally don't do something like this where it would be recorded for YouTube, right? But I'm really thrilled that I did, and I'm excited that we got to share this time, because it's awesome.
Me too. And I hope if you wish. Well, first, thank you for all of those beautiful things that you said. That is so beautiful. And I'm honored to be with you. And for the listeners, I really hope you give me some of the links or when they come so I can add them, because I know people are going to be like, I want the book. I want to be at the events, all of that. I know they're going to want to follow you too, because you're a special person.
Oh, thank you, Rachel.
I,
That is so kind.
oh, you're welcome. Well, I love that you had this vision. And to me, whew, what you're doing with this book, it almost feels like you're breaking the mold of what we think books can do. You know, like
That's
how
exciting.
yeah, like how you said you want the readers to contact you and tell you their interpretation. I don't know, maybe that's implied sometimes with books, but I don't think I've ever heard that type of direct invitation. Read this. Here's what we thought. What do you think? I just love that.
Yeah, like sometimes I'd love to have like a membership for the readers,
Mm.
as well, so that they can actually, interact with the authors. And because I know I love to read. Oh my gosh, I just
Oh,
love
me
reading, and
too.
it just transports me everywhere, whether it's a good fiction or a good self-help book or whatever. And these stories that are going to be in these, because there will be a series, maybe you'll be in one.
I know. I was thinking, okay, we'll connect after this, because I was like, I bet I could put a story in there.
Oh, I bet you could. And it would be so much fun. And so the whole point of it is to get people thinking
Mhm.
in the wow mentality, the
Mm.
looking for the nuggets in all of our situations, because we all have ups and downs, and we all have negative, and some, one degree of negativity or one degree of pain. Just because somebody's pain or doesn't seem as bad to somebody else doesn't lessen that for them. So there's
Mhm.
all these different levels that we have to respect and appreciate
Mhm.
and recognize for each other. And so, but in that, we can't stay stuck there. And we've been stuck there too long, is
Mm.
my thought process. So the whole premise of this is to become a movement. You mentioned the word momentum. And
Mhm.
that was perfect, because I was thinking, oh, that's so good, because it will be a movement, and it needs to
Oh,
be a movement. And
yes.
it'll be a happy, fun movement, because the world is changing. The
Yes.
vibration of the earth is changing. The energy
Yes.
of the earth is changing. So we need to embrace this, and we need to share with one another and uplift each other by looking for the nuggets in the
Mm.
good, the bad, the ugly, and the in between.
Mm.
So that's the whole thing of the whole. It's actually a concept, really, is what
Yes.
it is.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
And now
Woo!
you're a part of it. See?
I know. And I'm all about the wow.
Better
It
let you
was such
go.
a pleasure. I am a psychic who helps people in business who understands business. What I can tell you is, if there are 5 things or 6 things that you're considering doing in your business and you wish you knew which ones not to do, together we can tune in and eradicate 3 to 5 of those. We have 1 or 2 things to focus on. Imagine the massive amount of time and energy and wondering this could save you. If you could just commit to the thing, because you know that this is what's totally aligned with you and your business right now and this time, that moves you forward. That gives you so much action to pour into your business. Now, there's a playlist. You can look at other sessions that clients have had, and you'll notice time and time again, they get 1 to 2 to 3 specific areas that are green lights for them to work on in their business. Things that they can really focus on that are definitely going to help them. Occasionally, they also get the clarity on, don't do these other things. It's not going to work for you. It's not in your best interest right now. How beautiful is it in this time and world of so many choices, so many options, to already have it narrowed down to, these are things to focus on, these are things that are not going to work for you. And to have that extra bit of confidence, that stamp of approval saying, this also feels internally aligned. So not only are you thinking it, but this is what I'm reading from your energy field, from spirit, from the infinite field of possibilities that is maximally aligned for your potential. That's what makes life and business so much fun. I am really looking forward to our first session together. May it be the first of many. Go ahead, there's the booking link below. See you soon.